Hey guys, so I just filmed a video based on my foundation look, how I highlight and contour, what products I use. So I would love for you guys to check it out, and if you could just like, subscribe, leave me suggestions, anything like that. Alright guys, talk to you soon. Bye. Okay, hey guys. Sorry about that. I'm just having a little dance sesh where I got started. Okay, so today I'm going to show you guys my foundation routine. Obviously, you guys can tell I have a lot of redness in my skin, a lot of hyperpigmentation. I do have dark circles, as you can tell. Very veiny eyelids, all that great stuff us women love to have. So, I am just going to go through and show you guys what I use, how I use it, and I'm going to apply it, so it'll be a full talk-through tutorial. So I start with the POREfessional by Benefit. I recently started using this. I've used like everything, I feel like, and I really, really like this one. I don't know why I've never tried it before. I worked at Ulta for 2 years, and I'm a huge Benefit fan, but for some reason I've never tried it. So I'm just going to apply this where my pore is a little bit larger. The nice thing about this is consistency is a little bit different than most primers, I would say. It's very smooth. Alright, all done with that. So one thing that I've really come to love with liquid foundations and how to apply them is not with a brush, but with a beauty blender. Mine is dirty right now. I use it every single day, and the best way to use these is, so originally whenever you buy them, they start out like this big, like literally they're so small, and then you put them under water and they just expand and they're awesome. So I highly encourage you to buy one of these. They are a little bit pricey. They're $19.95 at Sephora, but they're amazing. I will show you. Maybe I'll do like a comparison one day, like brush versus. Sorry, my dog just ran up the stairs and then fell back down them. That was that ruckus. Lucky, are you okay? Are you okay? Are you okay? Alright, so I'm just taking it on the back of my beauty blender and I am dotting it all over. And I don't know if I mentioned it or not, but this is L'Oreal True Match, and I use the color C5. So, I do have a ton of foundations that I go between. You always want to make sure you drag your foundation down on your neck, because a lot of times your neck is not the same color as your face, or, you know, even as your chest. So you just want to make sure it all blends. You don't want what my dad calls floating face. Okay, so now I'm doing my concealer, my highlight, and I am using the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind, and it's supposed to be a dark spot eraser as well. And it has vitamin C and goji berry in this. So it's really good for your skin. I love it. And I will say, I watch a lot of people on YouTube. Everybody, these are new and everybody swears by them. I have seen so many people use them. I love it. So you're probably thinking, Catherine, why are you working at a triangle? It's a lot of concealer, you know. Well, I'm not just concealing here, I'm highlighting. And I'm also going to highlight down the bridge of my nose, up in between my eyebrows, and then kind of fan it out like a little tree, as we all like to call it. And then I'm going to put some of my cupid's bow, my chin, and my jawline. Is that foundation? I don't know, I guess it was. So that's how I apply my concealer, but I also, like I said, I use it as a highlight. So these are going to be the places on your face that light would naturally cast, but you're just accentuating them a little bit more. And your brightening up, I will show you the huge difference that it makes. And a lot of people would do, like, whenever they would, I'm just talking like I don't have this on my face, but a lot of people used to highlight or conceal dark circles by just doing like that swipe under their eye, like, oh, you know, thinking that that would get rid of them. And while it may conceal them, you're accentuating something else though, because that's not like a normal, like, I don't want to say a normal shape of your face because obviously it is, but for makeup to flow, that's not how it would flow, I guess you could say, because if you would like look at pictures and stuff of yourself that day, you'd be like, wow, my eyes look really white underneath, you know, and nothing else. And you know, some people refer to that as like the raccoon effect. So you just want to kind of stay away from doing it just like that. And even if you only fan it out a little bit, I mean, you don't have to drag it down as far as I do. You don't have to do exactly what I do, but I have found that I have the best results that way. So I just really am like buffing this out with my beauty blender. I use this for like everything. I feel like buffing it out on my chin. The cool thing about highlighting and contouring is that you almost like fake people with your makeup. They think you have this like perfect face, and that, like, you know, you woke up like this, and you're thinking like, you know, it took me a few minutes, but nobody has to know your secret. Because just looking at people, especially on a day-to-day basis, you don't need to know that somebody highlighted and contoured. Like, of course, there's days where you want it to be more intense if you're taking photos, if you're going out, like, you know, events, whatever it may be. Of course, you want it to be a little bit more intense just because you have something to get ready for, what have you. Whenever I go to work, this is literally exactly what I do every day. So I'm taking a tapered brush and Neutrogena's Shine Control Powder. I started using this powder probably 2 years ago, if that. I don't even remember. It may have been like a year and a half, 2 years ago. Well, when I first started buying it, it was new, and it even still says new on the packaging. I'm like, you guys aren't fooling anybody. I've been buying this stuff for 2 years. So when I first started buying it, it was a little pricey for a drugstore brand, just like setting powder. So, yeah, I was like $8.99 for a setting powder. That's crazy. Well, and I don't need to do that. Okay, so like I was saying, it was $8.99, this powder. Now it's $12.99. I'm like, excuse me, you are a translucent pressed powder from Neutrogena. Why are you so expensive? So I'm just taking a fluffy powder brush. This brush is actually, this brush is by Krylon. I went to Graham Webb's Makeup Academy, no, Graham Webb Academy's makeup school last spring. So I, of course, had to like buy this huge kit of stuff, and this is just one of the many brushes that is in the thing. You cannot find Krylon hardly anywhere. It's a very hard product to come by. So this is my holy grail of products. For some of you makeup gurus out there, you might be thinking, oh, I know what you're talking about, and it's NARS. I love NARS. I'm gonna beat my dog. Lucky, you need to stop. Lucky, you still need to stop. Okay, so I just take a Sephora blush contour. It's called a Pro Contour Blush Contour, and it's number 74. This just like fits so perfectly, like in your cheekbones, like it's just in the hollows of your cheeks, like it's just amazing. So before I start contouring though, you're probably thinking, how do I know where to contour? Okay, well, for some faces it's a little bit different, but for the most part, it doesn't vary too much. So a couple ways to see where your contour should go if you don't have like high cheekbones, or you know, the hollows of your cheek aren't like super defined. Mine are. I mean, you know, I always have to do this. So that's one way you could find it. But at the top of your ear, you take your brush and you just hold it like right here, and you will feel that indentation in your face. I mean, you can see it clear as day now. Like you didn't see the hollow of my cheek before this, and it's just right at the top of my ear. Or you can roll your brush. So you roll it, and when you get to that hollow, you know, right there, you'll just roll and you'll feel it. Or you could do what I just showed you guys and do the fishy face. Right there. And you want to start, the product that you pick up, and at the point that you have the most product on your brush, you want it to be the heaviest right here, because you're creating shadows. You don't want to bring it, you don't want to start here and be the darkest here, because that's not going to look natural. That's not going to look like a shadow. That's not going to look like you're carved out naturally right there. So, and that's really what contouring is. It's just carving out your features, showing people, hey, I got cheekbones. Even if you don't, like, that is the beauty of contouring. Pat it around, knock off the excess. I'm really just going to take the edge of my brush, and that's how I'm going to start. I'm not going to start like this. I'm going to start like this. So, fishy face. You just want to drag it up on your temples to the middle of your forehead and drag it kind of down towards your eyebrow a little bit. So you can kind of already tell how that just like looks like my face just has more dimension to it already. Like, it's a little bit noticeable. So same thing. I just put a little bit under my lip to just make it a little bit more full, like that. Pop a little bit more. So I am just going underneath my jawline because I'm just kind of like shaping that. It gives my face a little bit of shape that it doesn't have. So just underneath my intense, you can do, of course, your jawline, and you still want to blend it out, but you can go down the sides of your throat and, you know, naturally where it is a little bit darker here, and contour that even more, and people will think that you're just like sculpted beautifully. So I just take any excess that's on my brush, I pinch it so it looks kind of like that, and I just run it on the sides of my nose. This is nothing perfect, this is nothing like super fancy, this is just my everyday contour. And you just don't want to forget, like, going right under the tip of your nose. This e.l.f. Duo palette, and it is in the color St. Luca. This is a bronzer that I have been using, and then this blush is absolutely beautiful. I would like to say that it is a dupe for NARS. So I'm just taking that product on my brush, tapping off the excess, and I'm actually starting like in this region first. So I'm gonna have my brush moving, and I'm gonna move it down to my apple of my cheek. So you don't want to just place it on the apple of your cheek and then have like two huge like pink marks. So you kind of want to apply it almost like your contour, but not starting way back here, more starting right here at the corner of your eye, kind of buffing it back and then dragging any excess front. And if you are looking for your apples on your cheeks, or if it's just, like for me, it's just easier, I just smile when I put my blush on, because it just pops them right out, and I like to drag this back and just, I am going to highlight, and you're probably thinking, Kathy, you just highlighted. Well, yes, but I am taking Urban Decay's Naked Flush palette. As you can see, this was like my favorite bronzer before I found Laguna. And this is just a beautiful highlight. It's so smooth, it's so creamy, and this is a blush. That blush is a little bit darker. It's great in the fall, and it's great for pretty much anybody. I would say tan skin more than lighter skin, because you don't want to put something too dark on somebody with fair skin. Alright, so you can see on the back of my finger, I have some of that highlight, and I'm just going to take it on my Cupid's bow, down the bridge of my nose, up to my eyebrows a little bit. The key with illuminators is to do them sparsely. Is that the word I'm looking for? I don't know. Sparingly. So I'm just going right above where I applied my blush, and it just adds that extra little sheen. But that's where light is going to naturally hit you. So when it reflects, it is just beautiful. But some people get so carried away with illuminators, and it makes me sad because I don't like to see girls that are like totally bronzed up and you can't see their lips, their face looks like the sparkles threw up on them, and I'm like, no babe, you know, you can look gorgeous. And it's just sad to see that sometimes, you know. And I'm not hating on anybody, I'm just saying if you're watching this video, use my tips. But this is just, like I said, my everyday makeup look. Eyebrows, you know, that's going to come on. Those don't vary. Not typically. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. I'm going to go ahead and put the rest of my face on. I have to be at work. I have to be at work in like an hour. So, yeah guys, I will talk to you soon. Bye. Young adults. Excuse me. Lucky, I'm going to beat you.